Welcome back. You are watching Birmingham Forward. Thanks to the efforts of Mayor William Bell and the Birmingham City Council, we are now a world designation. Well, if you've been following along lately, you've seen numerous national and international press reports about the progress of Birmingham. And Birmingham is on its way toward a World Heritage designation.
We're here today to pay honor and homage to Addie Mae Collins, Cynthia Wesley Morris, Denise McNair, and Carol Roberson, remembering their sacrifice and their service to the Lord. This is a time where we're going to remember our past, a time where we're going to reflect on our present, and a time we're going to rejoice and praise the God of our salvation.
It strikes me that during such turbulent times, in a church that served as a staging point for peaceful protesters, that while bombing and killings and beatings and humiliations had been perpetuated upon its very own, this church chose to teach love and forgiveness.
It is because Rosa sat that we can stand, right? It's because John Lewis marched that we now have black elected officials. It is important that we remember that the price of freedom is never free. It was paid by somebody. It is still being paid by people. And we owe it to move this nation forward.
Among the mourners at that service, as you know, was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who delivered a stirring eulogy in which he urged his fellow citizens to substitute courage for caution and to work passionately and unrelentingly for the realization of the American dream. He seized upon a glimmer of hope in a moment of darkness and national heartbreak, declaring that even the most devastating of losses can lead to positive change. He recognized that outpourings of grief and anger must shake this country out of complacency and give way to a fresh sense of resolve. And along with the diverse crowd that stood with him that day here in the city of the villainous Bull Connor, the courageous Fred Shuttlesworth, and the extraordinary letter that he himself had written just 5 months earlier from a local jail cell, he reminded that a nation, especially in times of division and despair, we as Americans are united not just by our values, but by our shared aspirations and our common humanity. But we are still bound to one another. We are still bound to one another and to the history of this hallowed place.
But 100 businessmen signed an agreement that desegregated Birmingham a whole year before the Congress Act. And so when I left here, I said to people all over the country, anytime you get 100 businessmen to stand up, the government can change. Now, I said that in New York, and a fellow by the name of Harry Oppenheimer heard me and said, would you think that would happen in South Africa? I said, I suspect it would. He said, would you come there and make that speech? Well, I did. And lo and behold, it was not long before the movement in Birmingham began to sprout seeds in South Africa. And the business community and the movement began to the process after the election of Jimmy Carter to get Nelson Mandela out of jail.
God has established this city to lead the way because all the scars that we have on us, we're peeling them off today. We're peeling them off today to say that because of good men and good women who came together and said that we cannot allow our churches to be bombed. We cannot allow innocent lives to be taken. We must change. and they came together and made that change. And there's no shame in that. And we've got to let the rest of the world know that we're proud of the fact that we not only changed Birmingham, we're proud of the fact that we not only changed this country, but we started a movement that has gone around the world, and Birmingham has known for it. So it's time for us to take our rightful place in the sunlight, to make a recommitment, to do what's right for our fellow man, to stand up against injustices, to march when it's necessary to march, and put yourself on the line just like others put themselves on the line for me and you to be here on this day. As mayor, I want to thank all of you for making this a very special occasion. But more importantly, I want to thank all of you for giving Birmingham a second chance to let the world see who we really are. A second chance to not be defined by our past, but to be defined by our present and the future that we hold in our own hands.